Oki.
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 Oki, and welcome.
We acknowledge that we're gathered on the lands of the Blackfoot people of the Canadian Plains.
We pay respect to the Blackfoot people's past,
Present.
and future.
We recognize the thousands of Indigenous peoples
From many diverse nations,
Ventral.
including members of the Blackfoot Confederacy,
The Six Gates.
Akana.
Siksika. Amskapi people.
as well as other First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. We respect Indigenous peoples' cultural heritage,
beliefs,
Truth
And relationship to the land.
that stretches back in time.
We will not blink at history.
We will not blink at history.
and we will learn from it.
Oki is an invitation.
A step forward.
In Blackfoot, Oki means hello.
Oki means hello.
Hello.
Oki.
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 Oki. And welcome to the lands of the Blackfoot people.
Okay, and welcome to a safe place to meet and have these conversations. It will be interesting when I click this box if Diane is here, and she's not. Okay, well, that's all right. We've had a little bit of a glitch, but I'm gonna proceed anyways. So let's see, we'll change that to about like there, maybe put it this way a little bit. Okay, so some of you may wonder why this show? Why do you want to have these conversations? And I've been thinking about this a lot. And basically, I want to give you a little kind of a history of what I learned, and maybe this will be of value to you, or maybe you have something to teach me. Maybe there's something that I have misunderstood in the lessons I've been taking. So basically what happened was about 2 years ago, I was alerted, I was shown, I guess, and I'd never asked to see, I was shown the statistics for our victim services unit, which encompasses RCMP detachments throughout Southern Alberta. And I was very shocked to be told that the number one case file that we work on is child sexual abuse or just child abuse. It's one or two. They flip back and forth. And I was very surprised that this blew my mind. I thought that it was really, really rare, but it is not really, really rare. So anyways, that led me to a whole bunch of research about adverse childhood experiences. So there was a huge study done about adverse childhood experiences in like 1995-ish. And that Dr. Folletti and the CDC and Kaiser Permanente, they had done this very, very fulsome study. And it involved predominantly white, university-educated population base. So not people who would traditionally be treated more poorly in the world. So, people of color, people that aren't white. Anyways, this was a group that should have had very good results, you would think. But basically what they found was there was a surprisingly high number that had these things called adverse childhood experiences. So they categorized 10 different things, and they're things that a child should never, ever have to experience. But basically these 10 things, and then the more of those that you have, the more negative impacts on your life, on your relationships, on your health, on your ability to be employed, on your the potential that you're going to have a substance abuse disorder or not, all of these kind of things. And so this then untreated or unaddressed, these trauma then have these long-term negative impacts, right? And so if we could get a handle on that trauma, could reduce that trauma, well, we would reduce all these negative health outcomes. We would increase health individually for us as individuals and for our community in general, right? So, and it's not just these adverse childhood experiences, not just these ACEs things, because there's other things that we have been led to believe as a little person that is impairing our ability to have our most beautiful beautiful life, our best existence possible, because of these things that happened previously that changed our perspectives and gave us some kind of limited perception about ourselves, that we're broken, there's something wrong with it, we can't be loved, we have these things that make us less than the perfect human beings we are. So if you examine that, and this is anybody, right? There's people that their trauma is very obvious and very, very severe and very, very heartbreaking. There's other people who's have had influences that have impaired their ability to seek their best possible self because they have thought themselves somewhat less. And so going back, and this is for all of us, I've done this exercise and it was amazing. So basically going back and reviewing when times when you might have been fearful, or when you might have felt like worthless or hopeless or helpless or those kind of feelings, and then just sort of have a little assessment of that situation now from your mature adult perspective. And then basically you go back and have this review. And then when you do that, you very likely will find that you made a decision at that point that somehow you weren't perfect. There was something wrong with you. You were broken. You were less than. Somehow that happened at that point in time. And then once you address that, once the adult you goes to little you and says, hey, buddy, you're perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. Your caregivers were having a bad day, and maybe they were, said something that was hateful or hurtful, but they didn't mean it. It's not true. You're perfect. And so then life gets easier, right? So anyways, that whole ACEs thing said, all right, knowing about ACEs and then explaining about adverse childhood experiences and encouraging people to do this address of concerns they might have expressed as or they might have experienced as a little person, that's valuable. Good to get that message out. So as the more I'm researching it, who bears more of the burden of those adverse childhood experiences? Our Indigenous brothers and sisters. Why could that happen? Because they've had 6 generations of trying to beat the culture out of them, right? So, I mean, you think if you're a white person like me, I've had every advantage come to me because I'm a white heterosexual male. But if, in fact, when I was 5 years old, somebody come to my door who didn't look like me, didn't smell like me, didn't talk the same language, and through force grabbed me and took me away from my parents, never to return, would my life have turned out as easy? No, it'd be way, way harder, right? Or vice versa. I'm as a father that, again, somebody comes to my door who doesn't speak my language, who I can't understand, but I know that they have the power and authority to do this. So it's going to happen regardless, whether I want it to or not. And they take my daughter from my hand, 5-year-old Caitlin, and take her away, never to return again. So would that have impacted my ability to have a good life? For sure. These are traumas that nobody should ever have to experience. So you start off with this major deficit of that kind of a relationship. So anyways, the way that our Indigenous brothers and sisters have been treated is horrible. Now, what can we do? Well, I think we got to do more than just say, hey, I'm not a racist. I think we have to be more on the pro side, on the extending an offer, on the, making them welcome. I think, and my wife Crola and I, we talk about this quite a bit because she has some lived experience and she understands animals very, very well, really well. And so she can see kind of how an animal acts, a prey animal acts, and relate that to how a person who has suffered trauma reacts. And they are fairly similar, right? They're always on the alert. They're always being concerned. They're always scanning their environment. They don't really settle that much, that kind of a thing. And so that's kind of an important insight, I think, in terms of how we proceed with people who have been traumatized, whose whole life has been a lot of traumas, way more than I will ever know in mine. So I think you have to be make sure that you're giving them a voice and a choice always. So I think this is the way I'm proceeding. And if you're listening to this and you're saying, oh, well, this guy obviously doesn't understand what this person said, which would make it way smarter, give me a call. Let me know. Give me some gentle correction to help me understand how to be a better ally. Because that's basically what I want to do. I'm an ally for one, my nappy ita mate pui. He's gonna do an amazing job with his 7-day recovery camps. These camps are where people are just 4 days opioid free, then will go to these camps and live in these teepees for 7 days and reconnect with their culture, reconnect with their land, reconnect with their brothers and sisters, and reconnect with their creator and disconnect from the opioids. He's going to make that happen 8 people at a time. And that's going to happen pretty quick. And then those folks are going to have some support and encouragement, and they're going to be able to move forward to a much better life for themselves with much less pain and sorrow and a whole bunch more of health and happiness. So I'm super excited about that. But in a bigger context, how do we prevent the trauma from happening at all? How do we do that? So I say, and I'm not getting a lot of people that say, hallelujah, this is the solution. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this, but I say, here's what we got to do. We have to be able to have people who look after the people in their network, in their tribe, in their community. So let's say I know 100 people, let's pretend. And that's probably, yeah, I know 100 people for sure. So I know 100 people, and I educate myself on the resources that are available for somebody who is having challenges in their life, whatever that is. And maybe I've learned these resources because I've used them. Maybe this is how I found out about these resources. Anyways, I know where these resources are. And to my people, my friends, I say to them, you know what? We all have troubles from time to time. Life is hard. There's things that go wrong. That's always going to be the case, that people are going to get sick and die. That there's things that we just always have to deal with. And if you need some help, if you're in that kind of a situation, you don't feel safe, or you need somebody to talk to, well, I'm your guy. Then call me. And then call me, and I will do my best to assist you. And so I think if we had this system navigators, I'm calling them, but basically everybody that says, here's my peeps, here's my people, I want to be of support to them if they need something. And here's my phone number, here's my email address. You contact me, and I'm not going to try and tell you the answers. I'm going to try and say, thank you for sharing with me. You're having some challenges in your life. I appreciate that. And I promise to be confidential about that. And I want to help you. So tell me what your plan is or how I can move forward. I'm not giving you advice because I'm not a psychologist or a professional in any, well, I'm a professional in terms of employee benefits, but I'm not a professional for a police officer or a healthcare professional or psychologist, any of those things. But I'm very, very interested in it. I actually just finished taking a course on EDMR, eye desensitization and movement therapy. No. Eye movement desensitization and reprogramming. That's what it is, EMDR. Anyways, it's like a brain hack. It's amazing. So I've done it, and I know how it works, and I'm really encourage other people to try it. It's super people that are hardcore, really, really smart psychologists they are often surprised that EMDR works so well, and then they become these big advocates for it. So like Bessel van der Kolk, brilliant man, and he then endorses EMDR, right, because it's so effective, especially with people with post-traumatic stress disorder. And so the other things that I got real interested in is polyvagal theory. And Carola and I are actually just going to take a course with Stephen Porges, the guy for polyvagal theory. And basically, this is kind of the thought is the reality of it is all of us have this vagus nerve. And this vagus nerve goes from our brainstem to our taint, right, to our pelvic floor. And that is our connection between our brain and our body. And we can influence or stimulate or induce a response on the ventral vagus nerve that is more beneficial than other responses. There's basically 3 different ways it can function. There's a dissociative response, and that's basically where the body understands that there's going to be a bunch of pain happening and it's unavoidable. There's a much greater force coming that the person cannot control. And so it just floods your body with endogenous opioids and just kind of helps you deal with the pain, kind of disassociate you with that pain, right? And if you think about kind of a mouse in the jaws of a cat, that kind of a thing, right? The mouse appears to be dead. The cat sets it down to chase off another cat, and then the mouse jumps and scoots, right? So that's a dissociative response. There's a dorsal vagus response, and that is basically where, and I think this is where a lot of people live, is where they're always on alert. They're always vigilant. They're always concerned about what's happening next. They're always, regretting what happened in the past and fearful of what's coming up, right? And so in that state, can you function? Sure you can, but it's really, really hard for your body to restore and regenerate in that state. So what's better? Ventral vagus response. So a ventral vagus response is where you can basically elicit a response in which your body is very, very relaxed and very receptive to restoration and to healing and to resetting. So it's in this beautiful set, and you, in your mind, you're up in your neocortex. You're in the best part of your mind, your best part of your mind, where you can access your imagination and your intuition and your love. It's beautiful. And you heal in that state. Now, there's many, many different ways where you can activate this ventral vagus response. But the fact is, all of us have a way that we can activate it. So instead of being uncomfortable with what's happening right now and feeling you have to have something salty, or you have to have something sweet, or you have to have something with a little alcohol in it, or you have to have something that's going to change this mood right here, right now, well, you do it by stimulating the ventral vagus response. All within your control. You just decide you explore what works for you. Singing works for me. No question. All right. So I think that's basically kind of a summary I wanted to say. And you know what else I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. When I was at the Pow Wow on Saturday, my bride and I, Carola and I, were at the Pow Wow, and it was beautiful. All the lights and the colors and the movement and the rhythm and the smiling faces, and it's beautiful. And I was chatting with one of the performers, this big guy. He was probably 6'5", like a beefy man. And he was had been just giving her out there doing the ceremony. He was bouncing and weaving and bopping. And I said, my goodness, you are very fit. You're an athlete. And he said, yeah, it takes a lot. And he was sweating all over the place. But anyways, he got a lot of satisfaction out of participating in ceremony at the Pow Wow. And he was telling me about his, I don't know what you call it, the feather part that you at their low back that sits out there, that feather piece there. And he was then saying that one specifically, was kind of an honor to have the ability that he could wear it, that he was granted the ability to wear it because of his, he's been recognized as a good, a good member, a good human being, and they want to acknowledge somebody to be somebody of good character, I guess you'd say, to be the carrier, the holder of that. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, you know what? At that ceremony, I was talking to our mayor, Mayor Blaine Hagan. I don't know why I said Hagan. It's Higgin is what it is, not Higgins, but Higgin. Anyways, and he got his Blackfoot name there, which I thought was beautiful, very deserving and very appropriate. I think it's Kind Man, I believe it is, and that is certainly a very appropriate name for the beautiful human being who is our mayor. Now, him and I were chatting, and he was saying, hey, you like to sing. Maybe you like to sing and you want to be an ally to the Blackfoot people. Maybe you should sing some kind of Blackfoot songs. And I said, well, Mr. Mayor, I was actually working on something like that. And then I kind of parked it. So I'm going to give it a try right now. So basically, here's what it is. It's the song. Hang on a second. It's the song Try a Little Kindness. And then I tried to incorporate. Oh. Huh. Well, I didn't save it, the lyrics. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. So basically, the idea was to take that song, which is Try a Little Kindness, and then substitute the Blackfoot word Gimmabibitsin, which is kindness. So then that was kind of to include that in here. So that's what I thought I did, but apparently never saved it. Unless hang on, let me just say, let's see. Did I do? I try a little kindness. Oh, let's look at what I did here. Nope. No. All right. Well, that's okay. I'll just sing this song. If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he's sown, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You've got to try a little kindness. Yes, show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on narrow-minded streets. Don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. You've got to try a little kindness. Yes, show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. So if you substitute it in here, where would you put it? If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he's sown, if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, are you doing okay? Give me big bits in this. You got to give me big bits in. No. Oh, I know one thing you could add in for sure. Where it goes. Yeah. Hang on one second. Spumo. Oh, yeah, this would be good. In that lyrics, you want to have gimme be bits in his kindness to others. Okay. And Migwich is thanks. And this one here would be good to work into here somewhere. Is this Spumo Kit Napi. Spumo Kit Napi. Which is help me, my friend. My friend Lyle taught me that. Lyle, the drywaller Métis fella. Really nice man. Okay, so how would you work that in there? All right, I'm going to work on that. But you know what I'm going to do? Before I do that, I'm going to go to, yeah, this is a song that, oh man, it's so sad. So sad. And it speaks specifically to what has happened with our Blackfoot brothers and sisters in the past. So it's a John Ward Hannum song. So I'm going to try singing this song. The man of God gave some kind of blessing. He said something about sin that needed confessing. There was no time for kisses, no time for goodbyes. He had the Lord on his lips, but the devil in his eyes. They took away our clothes and our Indian names. They took off my feather and threw it to the flames. They cut off the braids my mama had tied. They had the Lord on their lips, but the devil in their eyes. When I think, I ache. When I ache, I drink. When I drink, I fly high above the buttes. Somewhere outside my head, and I fly till I sleep, and I sleep till I dream, and I dream till I wake and start thinking again. I miss my mama and I miss my dad, and I thought of running every chance I had. They beat us like dogs every time we got caught. They had the Lord on their lips and the devil in their hearts. Sometimes at night the wolves would appear. I'd face the wall, hoping no one could hear. I never said nothing. The shame was too much. He had the Lord on his lips, but the devil in his touch. I lost my stories and I lost my songs. I lost my ways and my Indian tongue. Oh, how could a man do that? We were children. Man, we were just kids. They had the Lord in his heart and the devil in his touch. When I think, I ache. When I ache, I drink. When I drink, I fly high above the buttes. Somewhere outside my head, and I fly till I sleep, and I sleep till I dream, and I dream till I wake and start thinking again. That is one damn sad song. Shit. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Now it's sad songs. That's it. Singing sad songs. And if you're singing sad songs, you're singing Hank Williams, not Hank Williams number 2, Bocephus, not Hank Williams number 3, Tricephus, Hank Williams number 1. Hear that lonesome whippoorwill, he sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is whining low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind the clouds to hide its face and cry. Did you ever see a robin weep when leaves begin to die? That means he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. the silence of a purple sky, like the silence of a falling star, lights up a purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm so lonesome I could cry. All right, another sad song. This one I learned from Matt Minglewood. Well, not personally. I just heard him sing it. Young born kneels on the ground by a dog whose day is done. 14 years just stood there like one. There comes a time when every old dog dies. The boy knows he never should let it take him by surprise. But he's leaving now. That's what the old dog's eyes did say. There are no words the boy can use to make him stay. And in his heart he knows there ain't no use. Turn his head and he'll turn him loose. Mama stands in the doorway where I've lived for 16 years. Her mind is filled with memories, but her eyes are filled with tears. She don't find it one bit funny how time flies. She knows she never should let this thing take her by surprise. But I'm leaving home. She knows that's what I'm gonna say. She's searching hard to find the words that'll make me stay. And in her heart she knows there ain't no use. I turn her head and she'll turn me loose. Say what you mean. Come on, try and speak. My stomach's trying to get out and my knees are getting weak. I never seen that look before in your eyes. I never should have let this thing take me by surprise. But you're leaving me. I know that's what you're gonna say. I'm searching hard to find the words that'll make you stay. And in my heart, I know that ain't no use. I just can't turn you loose. I just can't turn you loose. I know that ain't no use, but I just can't turn you loose. So I went and picked up my groceries at Save On Foods. Saw the friendly people down at Save On Foods. My buddy John, I always say hi to John when I'm there. And when I was getting my groceries, this Blackfoot guy comes up and we were having a chat. And I had the front and the trunk open, both the front and the rear trunk on the Tesla open. And so he was like, "Where's the motor?" So we had a nice chat about the Tesla and blah, 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 that kind of a thing. And then his friend, she's a female, younger woman. And so she comes over and she was chit-chatting and we were talking and that kind of thing. And so we had a nice chat. And then I was going to go. And he said, "Hey, do you have any money?" And I said, "You know what? I don't. But you're hungry. How about I go and buy you something?" So basically we went into Save On into the little deli area there and him and his friend. And I said, "Well, what do you want to eat?" And they said, "Well, what can we get?" And I said, "Well, whatever you want." So anyways, so she chose sushi and a pop, and he chose a chicken pot pie and a pop. And so then I said, "Okay, well, are you good now? It's just good." So then we went and I paid for it. And then she said, "Oh, I really wish I could pay you back." And the cashier the clerk guy at Save On said, "Hey, just accept kindness. And I said, "That's great advice." So anyways, it felt good. It felt good to do something good for them. Just like the song. If you call my cell phone if you call my cell phone, here's what you're going to hear. Sip of tea first. Well, a shortened version of this. If you got a problem, I don't care what it is. If you need a hand, I can assure you this. I can help. I got 2 strong arms. I can help. It would sure do me good to do you good. Let me help. It would sure do me good to do you good. Let me help. It's the fact that people get lonely ain't nothing new. But a woman like you, baby, should never have the blues. I can help. It would sure do me good. I can help. I got 2 strong arms. It would sure do me good to do you good. Let me help. It would sure do you. It would sure do me good to do you good. Let me help. It would sure do me good to do you good. Let me help. Anyways, that's on my cell phone, because I know that when I help somebody else, I feel good for helping somebody else. It does me good to do you good. Just like you do good to somebody else, it feels good for you. So I was doing this course about discovering your soul's purpose with Michael Bernard Beckwith and Donald Neil Walsh. And he got me thinking that Donald Neil Walsh was telling me about the soul. What is your soul? What does it do? What's the soul all about? And it got me thinking of that song, What is the Soul of the Man, where they keep asking, what is the soul of man, but nobody answers. So this, I incorporate a little bit of Neil Donald Walsh in the lyrics here with his thoughts on what the soul is. Makes sense, right? Well, I want somebody to tell me, answer if you can. I want somebody to tell me just what is the soul of a man. I'm going to ask the question, answer if you can. And anybody out there tell me just what is the soul of a man. Neil Donald Walsh had the CWG. Surely he knows the key. Soul stands for the source of unlimited love, is what he say. And God defined in the same way. I want somebody to tell me, answer if you can. I want somebody to tell me just what is the soul of a man. Just what is the soul of a man. God expressed through my soul, love expressed through my soul. Neil Donald Walsh says he may be wrong, but I don't think so. They traveled to different countries. They traveled to foreign lands and found somebody to tell me just what is the soul of a man. Well, I want somebody to tell me, answer if you can. I want somebody to tell me just what is the soul of a man. I saw a crowd standing talking. I came up right on time. I heard the doctor and the lawyer say a man ain't nothing but his mind. I want somebody to tell me, answer if you can. I want somebody to tell me just what is the soul of a man. Just what is the soul of a man. Just what is the soul of a man. Anyways, that was fun, adding some lyrics to that song. It was good, and the course was great. I learned a lot. I believe I have a purpose to my soul's calling. I think I've been told what that is. I got a job to do. Until I breathe my last. Oh, you know what? Just wait a second. No. Okay. All right. So how about let's do a little Mavis. Sow good seeds, everybody. All right. Mavis Staples. sow good seeds, everybody. Sow good seeds, everybody. On the mountain, down to the valley, you gonna reap just what you sow. Sow by walking, sow by talking, sow by everything that you do. Don't mind no one, just keep on sowing. You gonna reap just what you sow. Sow good seeds, everybody. Sow good seeds, everybody. From the mountain down to the valley, we gonna reap just what we sow. Y'all gonna reap just what you sow. I'm gonna reap just what I sow. So on the mountain, down in the valley, you gonna reap just what you sow. Hark the voice of Jesus calling, who will come and wake the dead. Tombs of mercy, harvest waiting. Here am I, oh mercy me. They'll talk about you, they'll vilify you, call you everything's a child of God. Don't you mind what they saying? You gonna reap just what you sow. Sow good seeds, everybody. Sow good seeds, everybody. From the mountains onto the valley, you gonna reap just what you sow. You gonna reap just what you sow. You gonna reap just what you sow. You're never too young, you're never too old to find yourself good trouble. We must find a way to give it away and find ourselves good trouble. And find yourself good trouble. And find myself good trouble. The world is a burning building, so who do you want to be? Someone putting out the fire or changing channels on the TV. You're never too young, you're never too old to find yourself good trouble. We must find a way to give it away and find ourselves good trouble. And find yourself good trouble. And find myself good trouble. Now we weren't born into trouble, and with a child's eyes we can see the good we can do for each other when we're the friends that we should be. We're never too young and never too old to find ourselves good trouble. We must find a way to give it away and find ourselves good trouble. And find yourself good trouble. And find myself good trouble. You know, there's a song by Mavis Staples. Yes, that Mavis Staples. That Mavis Staples, the best singer in the world, Mavis Staples. And it's called Little Bit. And Little Bit is kind of a commentary on cycles of violence and systemic racism that kind of play out and play out and play out. And you'd say, well, that sounds like a downer song. But, where'd it go? Little bit, it's gone. This is Little Bitty. That's not it. Little Bitty is Alan Jackson's song. Okay, you know what? I'll sing that one first. Anyways, Little Bit, I'm going to come back to it because in the lyrics, Mavis has a solution. How? How do we move forward? How do we do it? She'll tell you. I'll have a little love on a little honeymoon. You got a little dish and you got a little spoon. A little bitty house and a little bitty yard. A little bitty dog and a little bitty car. Well, it's all right to be a little bitty. A little hometown on a big old city. Might as well share, might as well smile. Life goes on for a little bitty while. A big yellow bus and little bitty bugs. It all started with a little bitty lug. A little hometown, no, Well, it's all right to be little bitty, a little hometown or a big old city. Might as well share, might as well smile. Life goes on for a little bitty while. Life goes on for a little bitty while. You know you got a job and a little bitty check, a six-pack of beer and a television set. Little bitty world goes around and round. Little bit of science and a little bit of sound. A good old boy and a pretty little girl start all over in a little bitty world. It's all part of a little bitty scheme. It's all right to be little bitty, a little hometown or big old city. Might as well share, might as well smile. Life goes on for a little bitty while. Well, it's all right to be little bitty, little hometown or big old city. Might as well share, might as well smile. Life goes on for a little bitty while. Life goes on for a little bitty while. Life goes on for a little bitty while. Oh, let's do this. Love of a woman. Now, this actually isn't talking about, your mother, but you think about it. Love of a woman. We all came here because we had a woman who loved us and kept us and let us grow within her and nurtured and cared for us after that. Thank goodness for mothers, huh? My baby knows me better than I do. Funny how a woman has that over a man. I can do anything with her here beside me. Leaning on her is where I make my stand. Where would we be without the love of a woman? Standing beside her man even when he's wrong. The true, pure, undying love of a woman makes a man a fool to think he can make it alone. My daddy was a wild one when he was younger. Everybody told my mama he'd be hard to tame. Full of himself, he said, and saw to nobody. But you ought to see him come a-running when mama calls his name. Where would we be without the love of a woman? Standing beside her man even when he's wrong. The true, pure, undying love of a woman makes a man a fool to think he can make it alone. Man goes crazy trying to catch his feelings. Too much pride, or maybe the words come out wrong. But that's okay, 'cause he's still her hero. Steady as a rock, her love keeps rolling along. Where would we be without the love of a woman? Standing beside her man even when he's wrong. The true, pure, undying love of a woman makes a man a fool to think he can make it alone. Makes a man a fool to think he can make it alone. Oh, yes. How about Love Can Build a Bridge? I first heard this song when I went to Sunnyside School, where my daughter was attending grade 4. And her 30 beautiful classmates were so earnestly, so beautifully singing this song, and it made me cry. It's such a pretty song. I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means to me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand. Love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything. I'm believing in the power. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? 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 All right. How about another Hank Williams songs? I'm a rolling stone, all alone and lost. For a life of sin, I have paid the cost. When I pass by, all the people say, just another guy on a lost highway. Just a deck of cards and a jug of wine, and a woman's lies make a life like mine. Oh, the day we met, I went astray. I started rolling down that lost highway. I was just a lad, nearly 22, neither good nor bad, just a kid like you. Now I'm lost, too late to pray. Lord, I took a coast on that lost highway. Now, boys, don't start your rambling round on this road of sin. Are you sorrow bound? Take my advice, or you'll curse the day you started rolling down that lost highway. I'm a rolling stone, all alone and lost. For a life of sin, I have paid the cost. When I pass by, all the people say, just another guy on the lost highway. All right, how about oh, how about this? A man ain't supposed to cry. Of course, men, we can cry. It's okay. That's what we got tear ducts for. Actually, when you cry, did you know that you release cortisol? Cortisol is a stress hormone that you dissipate it when you cry. So if you're feeling crappy, if you're sad and you have emotions, express them. Now she is gone. My heart is yearning. Her heart grows cold, but mine's still burning. My eyes could weep, but I gotta keep 'em dry. 'Cause a man ain't supposed to cry. Days are long, nights are madness. Once there was love, now there is sadness. Torment and despair refuse to pass me by. And a man ain't supposed to cry. And a man ain't supposed to cry. If my past should come back to haunt me, the love I lost will ever taught me. Woman's rights to tears will be hers until she dies. But a man ain't supposed to cry. No, a man ain't supposed to cry. My eyes could weep, but I gotta keep 'em dry. 'Cause a man ain't supposed to cry. Of course, you know that according to the Google algorithm oh, wait a minute. The Google algorithm just changed its mind. It's going to go to, at this moment, Billy Vera. Did you hear the click, 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 like the roulette wheel, and it stopped on at this moment? That's not a very good roulette wheel sound, is it? Clickety click. It's more like what? Like that, right? Okay. Here it is. What did you think I would do at this moment when you're standing before me with tears in your eyes, trying to tell me that you have found you another and you just don't love me no more? What did you think I would say at this moment when I'm faced with the knowledge that you just don't love me? Did you think I would curse you or say things to hurt you? 'Cause you just don't love me no more. Did you think I could hate you or raise my hands to you? Now come on, you know me too well. How could I hurt you when, darling, I love you? And you know I'd never hurt you. No, no. What do you think I would give at this moment if you'd stay? I'd subtract 20 years from my life. I'd fall down on my knees, kiss the ground that you walk on. If I could just hold you again. If I could just hold you. If I could just hold you. If I could just hold you again. Oh, let's do Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes. Oh my goodness, this is from the Jeff Healey Band. Jeff Healey was a Canadian blues man. He had a rare form of cancer, which made him lose his vision before he was 1 year of age. So then he still learned how to play the guitar and make all kinds of great blues music and tour all over the world. So this is one of his legacies that he has left us. Girl, you're looking fine tonight, and every guy has got you in his sights. What you're doing with a clown like me is surely one of life's little mysteries. So tonight I'll ask the stars above, how did I ever win your love? What did I do? What did I say to turn your angel eyes my way? Don't anybody wake me if it's just a dream, 'cause she's the best thing ever happened to me. And all you fellows, well, you can look all you like, 'cause this girl you see is leaving here with me tonight. Now there's just one more thing I need to know. If this is love, why does it scare me so? Must be something only you can see. 'Cause girl, I feel it when you look at me. So tonight I'll ask the stars above, how did I ever win your love? What did I do? What did I say to turn your angel eyes my way? Don't anybody wake me if it's just a dream, 'cause she's the best thing ever happened to me. And all you fellows, well, you can look all you like, 'cause this girl you see is leaving here with me tonight. Well, my goodness, my wellness meter is almost at the top of its capacity. Feeling pretty good. Okay, how about a little well, let's do this little brown-eyed girl, because you know when this song comes on the radio, you always do the sha la 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 di la di da. Okay, so get ready, you can do it with me. Hey, where do we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog with all our hearts are jumping. And you, my brown-eyed girl, you're my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened to Tuesday and so slow? Going down the old mountain with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, I'm behind the rainbow's wall, a slipping and a sliding all along the waterfall with you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha la 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 di da, just like that? Sha la 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 di da, la di da. Sha la 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 di da. Sha la 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 di da, la di da. So hard to find my way now that I'm on my own. I saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about it. Making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha la 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 di da, laying in that green grass? Sha la 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 di da. Sha la 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 di da. Just me and you, baby. Sha la 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 di da, la di da. Okay, what now, you say? Ooh. Oh, we were doing sad songs. I went totally away from sad songs. Took me like 3 sad songs and I was done. Oh, but wait a minute. This is kind of a blues expression song. This is like knowing torment like I have never known in my white bread privileged life. Way out there in the cotton, sun beating down so hard, sweat rolling off of this shovel, digging in the devil's boneyard. I shone like a cold drink of water, a soft rag to soothe my face, sure like a woman to talk to in this place. It's 110, 110 in the shade, going way down. Mama, won't you carry me? It's 110, 110 in the shade, going way down. Mama, won't you carry me? Oh, handle so hot I can't stand it. Might shrivel up and blow away. Noonday sun make you crazy. At least that's what the old men say. Bottom land hard as a gravestone. I couldn't cut it with an axe. Gonna lay me down right here, and that's a fact. It's 110, 110 in the shade, going way down. Mama, won't you carry me? It's 110, 110 in the shade, going way down. Mama, won't you carry me? Or sometimes late in the evening, everything is quiet and still. I sit here and think about leaving. Lord, I guess I never will. Heartache down in that city. Bright lights scare me anyway. Sure like a woman to talk to in this place. It's 110, 110 in the shade, going way down. Mama, won't you carry me? It's 110, 110 in the shade, going way down. Mama, won't you carry me? I'm going to get me one of them Google Wellness metric meters. It's just like a holographic little thing that goes beside your face here. And then it shows your levels of health, wellness, energy, mood, compassion, love. Amazing. So you can just kind of tweak things as you go. Or somebody can say, whoa, hey, buddy, how about I give you a little hug? I think you could use a little. I'm looking at your meter, bud. Sister, I think maybe a little hug would be helpful to you at this moment. How about, let's do this. This is a Sonny and Cher song. If you remember Sonny and Cher from back in the day, or you might just remember Cher because Sonny was like 10 years before she was popular, long after Sonny and Cher. Sometimes when I'm down and all alone, just like a child without a home, the love you give me keeps me hanging on, honey. All I ever need is you. You're my first love, you're my last. You're my future, you're my past. And loving you is all I ask, honey. All I ever need is you. Winters come and winters go, and we watch the melting snow. Sure as summer follows spring, honey. All the things you do give me a reason to build my world around you. Some men follow rainbows, I am told. Some men follow search for silver, some for gold. I have found my treasure in your soul, honey. All I ever need is you. Without love, I'd never find the way through ups and downs of every single day. I won't sleep at night until you say, my honey, all I ever need is you. I won't sleep at night until you say, my honey, all I ever need is you. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more when I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, how about this? We learn the hard way. Love's not always easy. Nothing worth having ever came around that way. Oh, but we never ran when the rain started falling. That's why we're standing in the sunshine today. We just want, we just love and keep loving, dream and keep dreaming, walk and keep walking, though the road may get rough. Hold and keep holding on to each other, always believing, always work for us. Now we never say never, and we never say die. Well, that's not to say that we never cried. Against all the odds, we made it somehow, and I can't imagine giving up now. We just love and keep loving, dream and keep dreaming, walk and keep walking, though the road may get rough. Hold and keep holding on to each other, always believing, always work for us. Always believing, always work for us. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Keep yourself well, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Gita Matsen.